Libra, the balance you've been trying to maintain is becoming emotionally expensive, and this week, you finally notice the cost. Mars square Pluto creates pressure in relationships, finances, intimacy, and emotional control dynamics. Someone may expect more from you while giving very little clarity in return. Or you may realize you've been managing another person's emotional instability just to keep the peace. That arrangement is no longer sustainable. Especially around Tuesday and Wednesday, avoid people who bait you into emotional overreaction. The energy this week rewards restraint, not escalation. You do not need to prove your fairness to people already committed to misunderstanding you. Midweek, Venus square Saturn creates emotional reality checks. Someone may feel distant, unavailable, or emotionally inconsistent. At first, this feels disappointing, but it also reveals something important. You are beginning to outgrow relationships built on uncertainty. You want stability now, reciprocity now, emotional honesty now, and once you admit that to yourself, your standards change quickly. Professionally and financially, this is also a strong week for restructuring priorities. Hidden stress becomes impossible to ignore. You begin recognizing where you've been carrying emotional obligations that were never truly yours to manage. By the weekend, perspective returns. The Sagittarius moon restores movement, clarity, and emotional breathing room. This week teaches you that protecting peace sometimes requires disappointing people who benefited from your lack of boundaries.
Libra, your tarot card is the Eight of Cups. Something emotionally important is changing inside you this week. You are beginning to recognize that staying emotionally attached to situations that no longer nourish your spirit only delays your peace. The Eight of Cups is not about failure, it is about emotional evolution. You may feel drawn to step back from draining dynamics, unclear relationships, or emotional patterns that no longer feel aligned with who you are becoming. Trust that instinct. Walking away from emotional confusion is sometimes the beginning of emotional freedom.
Libra, you get hexagram 44, Heaven over Wind, coming to meet. This hexagram warns about subtle influences that slowly gain power if left unexamined. A person, emotion, or situation may seem manageable at first, but carries deeper consequences underneath the surface. The I Ching asks you to pay attention to what repeatedly disrupts your peace. Not every connection deserves unlimited access to your emotional world. Boundaries protect balance this week.
Libra, your rune is Gibo. Gibo is the rune of exchange, reciprocity, and balanced connection. This week highlights where emotional energy is flowing evenly and where it is not. Relationships built on imbalance become harder to ignore now. This rune reminds you that healthy connection requires mutual effort, not quiet self-sacrifice from one side alone. Pay attention to who consistently meets you halfway emotionally. This week required clarity, restraint, and a willingness to stop carrying what no longer belongs to you. Not every burden deserves permanence. Sometimes growth begins the moment you recognize what has quietly exhausted your spirit for too long. Leave a comment sharing where you are watching from in the world. I always enjoy seeing how far these messages travel. And remember to watch your rising sign as well. It often reveals the structural changes unfolding beneath the surface events of your week. Subscribe, remain grounded, and I will speak with you again soon.